watch right here is that she attempted to delete the live stream after getting all this criticism. This young gentleman, Poppy Dan 1991, is going to explain how he was pretty much SA, and Kendra G does not believe him whatsoever. Shameful. Let's get into it.
Papa Dan.
Papa Dan.
Yeah, Papa Dan.
Papa Dan?
Yeah. It's my
You know
company,
me
my
from
business. But yeah.
Say
So
what,
I've been
sir?
on your show before. Yeah, I've been on your show before, like back in 2022 when you had
Wow,
first got
3
it.
years ago.
Yeah, a little minute ago. Yeah. So then that was back when I was in Florida. I live in St. Louis now. So
We've grown so much. We got the Kendra Cam, we got a dating app. So you want to do it again?
I'm here to try again. Different city, new people, you know what I mean? So let's go for it.
Let's go for it. What's your name, sir? You said Pop. So what am I going to call you?
You can call me Daniel, Papa Dan. That's
Daniel.
no,
Daniel, and you're in St. Louis now?
St. Louis now.
How old are you?
33, going on 34.
Okay, and what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Pisces, March 5th, baby.
Okay. You have any kids?
I have a son.
How old is your son?
He's going to be 2. He's another Pisces, just like his daddy.
Why are you not with the mama?
He's March 10th.
Why are you not with the mama? You had a baby since you've been on my show, too.
Yeah. Another person trying to run the system, trying to take advantage, you know.
She with you?
Yeah, you can say that. We won't, as a man, I can't really run with that narrative because nobody can really believe it. But yeah, I put it on the Bible that that's what happened.
Yeah, so many men get into those situations where they are taken advantage of by women, but they don't come out. And the reason they don't come out because they're going to be women like Kendra questioning. Because a man is stronger, they believe that a woman can never take advantage of a man. But we have a situation where a man is being, because women, you always say men should be vulnerable, share their feelings, their emotions. He's sharing his story of how a woman took advantage of him and she doesn't believe him. She's going to keep questioning him. Let's see. Let's watch. Right now, he just opened up. Let's see what she says.
But, at the end of the day, I'm still an accountable adult. Still got to do what I have to do in this world, because that is my prodigy. So nevertheless, how he got here, that's what we doing.
I need the details of how you got raped by the girl.
How many times has Kendra G talked to women who've come onto her show and said that they've been assaulted in some type of manner? Name me.
Facts. Once a woman comes on Kendra G's show and she asks the woman about her past relationship and why the things ended, and the woman says, oh, there was abuse, or they took advantage of me, she never keeps asking questions and try to find out if a woman is telling the truth. But for a man, she became the private investigator. She became interrogating him as if he's lying, like as if she was there. But when it's a woman, she never goes down the rabbit hole.
Me the number of times when Kendra G says, hey, okay, well, explain to me your great mental note.
She is not a citizen of America. So naturally, if you've been in America illegally, you're going to try to do your best to try to stay. And in your mind and way of thinking, not even if you ask any of your homegirls that's international too, they'll tell you, ain't a good idea to just, go up sleep with an American dude and just try to have a baby so you can try to stay in America, hoping he will marry you. That's what they be hoping they gonna marry you. No, they ain't gonna get ain't gonna get Papa Dan. No, ain't gonna get me.
Papa Dan. So I wanted to explain your side.
What's up?
With all that being said, you still have to willingly have, this is why I said, because that's the only way a woman could trap you. Right. But if you willingly had sex with her, then you participated. So did you willingly have sex with her?
She got me. I used to make wine back then. So, like I said, on the level of accountability,
she Bill Cosby you? She gave you a pill?
For me, I can say on the level of accountability, when a woman wraps their legs around you in the process of you being on top and you trying to relinquish yourself from the situation, and she's saying, no, dude, you ain't going nowhere. You going to have my baby. And in that moment as a dude, you're like, all right, well, shit, we going to do plan B like we normally do. And then she looked at me like, no, we ain't doing that neither.
Yeah, that happens so many times. But it's because men can never speak about such things. So because no one is going to believe them. Because, you're stronger than the woman, apparently. So why don't you just, push her off? But it's like, it's a very, very tough situation because the opposite is also true. You know, like in the midst of everything, the man wants it, the woman wants it, but the woman sometimes could change her mind while the guy is already in, right? She can change her mind while the guy is already in, and she's like, you know what? Okay, maybe we shouldn't do it. Maybe this is wrong. This is something wrong we are doing. But they already started, getting it in. So she could change her mind, and he could keep going. But she's enjoying it. But I mean, the body enjoys it, but the mind has chosen that, you know what? Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. At that point, the guy should stop. So I understand where he's coming from. That, hey, I was enjoying the moment, but I really didn't want to do it. But then she locked me in with her legs. And some guys have had babies like that. But men never speak about these things because of women like Kendra, who are going to judge and not believe the man and just keep making it seem like the man is lying.
So, I was like,
okay, so again, so she's letting you know all this in the act, and you still went through with it. So how was this?
He literally just explained to you, Kendra G, but Kendra G is one of those women who they can't fathom a man being taken advantage of. And let me throw this out there, because even when men are victims, like this gentleman is going to explain that he is, even when men are victims, men are still held accountable. We would never put a magnifying glass on a woman if she ever said she was assaulted. But as a man, I can say this: Papa Dan, you messed up by having intercourse with a low caliber woman. If she's just trying to sleep with you for a green card, she's not a woman of high character. The second of all, you should have wore a condom, bro. You would have had your rubber on when the time happened, and she tried to lock you in, because that's what she's saying, Kendra G. Because Kendra G's not the brightest bulb in the pack. You need to explain to her how sexual organs work. When he went to ejaculate, Kendra, what he's trying to explain to you is that she wrapped her legs around him and held him inside of her, which meant that the only thing that he could do is releasing her and then have her get a plan B in the morning to prevent said pregnancy. And she said she wasn't going to do it.
Women's right.
Yeah, many guys go through that, but at least he's holding himself accountable. He's not saying she's 100% accountable. He's saying, I shouldn't have put myself in that situation either. Maybe I shouldn't have got drunk like that and things like that. And women say that all the time, and we're supposed to believe them.
Her body, her choice.
Exactly. So here's the deal: her body, her choice, but you can decide not to put your body inside her body.
He said she locked her legs around him. What did you want him to? I mean, what did you want? Did you want him to fight her? He's already drunk. They're both drunk. Like, we are human at the end of the day. We make mistakes, and the body can really get so involved in a situation going on like that when everyone is really feeling the heat in the heat of the moment.
Well, so that's the level of accountability that I have in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a winemaker. She got me drunk off my own supply. I don't ever drink my own supply. 13% alcohol content. She said, "Ooh, Daniel, come and drink this wine with me in the room. I'm gonna bring a glass." I ain't trying to, but my dumb self did what it did, and that's just the level of accountability I have for it. So here we are today, trying to hope and pray we can find a wholesome woman that could treat your boy right. Somebody with some knowledge on her side that has been through the trenches and know how tough it is in this dating pool that got all the piss in it,
Look at her face, bro.
All work in progress.
She doesn't believe him. But if it was a woman, she would never question the woman like the way she's questioning him, and she would never make that face.
That's out here,
Look at her face.
That's the story you really want to tell? So that's the story you really going with?
I'm going to say, you put the words in my mouth when you initially said rape.
No, you were supposed to. Hold on.
What was that?
I said that. No, hold on real quick. I said that because you said a woman trapped you. So sarcastically, I said, "Oh, she you,"
right?
And then you said yes.
Why would you sarcastically say that? I'm telling you, women like this, they can't fathom that women assault men. Women assault men every single day, just like there's piece of shit men out here who assault women. You can see that obviously one way with men doing it to women, but she can't see it the other way. Like, you don't see women every single day being arrested for being high school teachers, getting impregnated by high school boys. This happens every single day.
You know what? A man can never be a damsel in distress.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be masculine. We're not supposed to have feelings. But in the whole light of the situation, when we had the pre-conversation about kids, I didn't want to have kids at that time.
So
And I
here's the deal. Okay, if you don't want to have kids that
She
time,
keeps
then
fighting
your
him.
responsibility is A, you don't have sex with her because you don't want to have kids. B, you wear a condom to protect yourself from having kids. And then we can have the grown folks. There is a grown folks pull out game. So my thing is, regardless of what she said, you are still a man that has to take accountability.
How many? How many times should he say he's taking accountability? Plus, how many times, Kendra G, have women, single moms, come on your show with 5 different baby daddies? How many times have you told them, why didn't you use a condom? Why didn't you take birth control? Why didn't you do ABCD? Why didn't you remove the baby? How many times have you questioned women the way you're questioning this man's life? Like, the double standards are crazy.
We can rewind the video, love. I've already taken accountability for the whole issue.
Which shows Kendra G is not listening. He literally said this minutes ago, but she's not listening because she's already has him tuned out because there's no way in her mind that a man could be assaulted sexually.
No, she's listening. She can hear him. She's just pretending like she doesn't know what he's talking about. She's painting this narrative that, like, the Do Better podcast guy said, that she believes only women can be victims, wherever she learned that from.
So let's on record deny that you were because you was not.
She was there.
I'll just say, in any woman's eyes, no. But if I was to talk to a group of men and tell them what happened, it didn't happen to several dudes. We just don't talk about it. These are like stories we don't tell.
Yeah, because anytime a man says something this vulnerable, that, hey, I was touched, hey, this happened to me, hey, I was taken advantage of, people don't believe him. Even other men don't believe him. So there's this stereotype that, you know what, when things happen to a man, he just shuts up. Plus, sometimes when a man tells his woman, his wife, his girlfriend, she later on uses that against him. Whether they're in a fight, then that's why you were touched when you're a little boy. It's like, no, I told you that because I was being vulnerable. Now you're using it against me because you're mad at me.
Story we just don't tell. But at the end of the day, my perception is my perception of what really happened. Only I and the person that had the child that up and decided to be a single mother, because a lot of times, you don't understand, if there are women striving out here to be single mothers, they do not want men in the picture.
Facts.
And that is the thing in the black community.
Hold on real quick. I'm not disagreeing with her intentions, right? Maybe her intentions were to get pregnant by you, to stay in America. There's no disagreement there.
Right.
The intentions of what you're describing could very well be true. The disagreement is you claiming to have been. Like, that's the disagreement.
But you were not there. How are you going to disagree? You were not there. He told his story. Right? Because I am sure if a woman told her story the same way, you would want us to give her grace. Sure, we don't have to believe her, but we don't have to question her like as if she's lying and that it could never happen. So if we're going to be fair, let's play fair on both sides. If a woman tells a story, let's give her grace, gather more information, but let's not just dismiss her from a negative point. If a man tells his story, if one man out of 1,000 comes out and tells his story, let's listen to him, so that we can encourage more men who go through this.
Let me see why, so I can give you, so we can move on. I got drunk off my own supply of wine that I made, that I squished with my hands. You serve me wine, you force it down my throat, I get drunk. Now, every woman's story is if they get drunk and they get instantly, the man is guilty, he goes to jail, locked away the key in the chamber of secrets.
Facts.
But like I said, in America, realistically, that will never be the man's narrative. And that's why hold on, let me finish. That's why when you said that,
she doesn't want him to talk.
I'm I'm jumping in because
sure.
You are telling the wrong story. When those women are using the example of they have passed out, right?
Not true.
No. First of all, how are you going to tell that man what happened to him? How in the hell are you going to tell that man what happened to him?
Facts.
You weren't there. And what Kendra G is trying to insinuate is that if you ever hear a story of a woman being with a man and having too much to drink, it's because she's passed out. She can't get his consent. That is a lie from the pits of hell. Women can turn around, have sex with a dude, had too much to drink, wake up the next morning and say, damn, well, I regret having sex with a dude. You don't have to be passed out unconscious. They can just say, hey, I regret having sex with a dude. That was great now, even though it wasn't great last night when he was taking you to Pound Town. Or there doesn't even have to be alcohol involved. A woman could just say the very next day or hours later after having intercourse with a dude, she could turn around and say, well, no, you know, I take that back. It was great. Kendra G is in certain scenarios that didn't happen. They're going to tell this man how he was assaulted. What?
So these are what
Facts. Let me even add on to what he just said. In fact, a woman in the morning, even if she wasn't drunk, even if they had a good night, you know, he was clapping them cheeks, you know, make her orgasm after orgasm all night. He may not even, if he doesn't text her, she can just say he used her and then accuse him of something just because he didn't text her. You feel me? So it doesn't have to be that she was drunk, she doesn't know what was going on. It just has to be she's mad that he didn't text her or didn't give her any money, anything like that. So I don't know what Kendra is thinking, but she's lying right now.
women that if they were drugs, they will say that they were not even coherent in the act of sex. They can't.
I'm telling you that I wasn't coherent.
No, you are coherent because you told me exactly what happened. You told me she
Damn,
was on top
this is
of
bad.
Me. You told me that.
I told you I was on top of her. She put her legs around me.
Either way, you are telling me exactly.
See how she's fighting him? Imagine this was a woman. Kendra would be canceled right now. But because he's a man, you know, she can fight with him, you know, not believe him, say he's lying, say he wasn't, you know, used, manipulated and things like that.
What happened in the sexual activity. So you were not, you were conscious. So you can't use that as an example. And conscious, only thing you can say is if you don't remember nothing, and then that will still be hard because then it'll be like, how did you have an erection? But long story short, you cannot compare yourself to women who have been drugged because these women don't remember anything. You can recite
quote unquote.
No, quote unquote. That's what I'm saying. She's saying that shit is crazy. It's a fact. And also, Kendra G, he can still get an erection even if he doesn't remember it or all the other excuses you're
quote
using.
Unquote, Kendra don't remember anything. Anybody.
Also, she's acting like, so she believes the women who say that they were too drunk to remember. She believes them even if she was never there. But she was never there when this guy was used and he was drunk, but she doesn't believe him. You see what I mean? She believes the women, she wasn't there. She doesn't believe him, she wasn't there. Do you see that cognitive dissonance?
Body can wake up from consciousness during the act of something and completely fall back asleep. And when you go to court, like I said, it's her word against mine. Like I said, Kendra, at the end of the day, I'm not here to stir no pot. I'm not on here to stir the Yaya Sisterhood, Traveling Pants Club.
Yep.
We ain't here to do none of that. We just here to see if there's any honest women out here that can understand their brother's situation, because there's a lot of other brothers have been through the same thing.
Facts.
And I could be a bitter baby daddy, and I could be bashing her all over the world like most men would, but I don't have time to do that. I'm a progressive male. I done moved on with my life. She done got a whole nother man and is doing what she doing. So for me, we can all we can do is be adults about any situation and move past it. If we can't work what we got out, move past it.
Babe, we're gonna move forward with the interview, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Only a goofy woman is gonna reach out to you.
Women have come on her show with 10 baby daddies and 1,000 kids. She has never said that any man who's gonna reach out to you is gonna be a goofy man. She has never said those words. Recently, I did a video where a woman was asking for a man who makes $1 million and who's 6 feet plus, and that if she doesn't get that type of man, she's ready to die single. She never said any man who reaches out to you is a goofy man. But as soon as a man has his standards and just wants a normal woman, she says any woman who reaches out to you is going to be a goofy woman. You know what that's called? That's called sabotaging. Now she's painting him as the bad guy so that other women don't reach out to him. Sad.
Do you hear what she just said?
When you were talking about, you got to understand that type of woman is going to hit you up. Any woman with any sense is going to look at what you're saying about your ex and the child's mother and try to consider that as like, what the hell are you talking about?
No.
It's his story. It doesn't matter. It's his story.
Has Kendra G ever told any of these disgusting baby mamas who
That's what I
have 7
said.
children by 7 different men
Facts.
on a dude that's 6'5" and make $500,000? Those delusional ass women, have she ever said, "Oh, you're only gonna get goofies that call you"?
Never.
Let alone a woman who's called up and told Kendra G, "I was great." Because the minute that women go on Kendra G's show and say that she was assaulted, Kendra says,
"I'm sorry to hear that about you."
and it keeps it moving. He's
Yeah.
never asked him to justify how she was great. But
Facts.
and it gets worse, y'all. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It gets worse.
Right. And this is why certain words we just don't say. So jokingly, it was a joke to you. Wasn't a joke to me. I never nor laughed once about
It's
the
funny to
issue.
Kendra.
But nevertheless, you wanted to know more information about it. I have nothing to hide in this world. That's between me and God at the end of the day.
Well,
So
okay, I
whether-
want to say this again.
Sure.
How I got there was
Yeah.
because you said you were taken advantage of.
He was. That's his story. You don't have to believe him, but at the same time, you are not the judge. He's not in court. He came here looking for a woman. He didn't come here for you to examine him to find out if he was really taken advantage of. Because if it was a woman, you wouldn't take 10, 15 minutes trying to find out if she's telling the truth.
That's why I said that, and then we went down
Right.
the whole rabbit hole. I would have never
You
said
went down the rabbit
It's
hole.
cool.
if you didn't claim to have been taken advantage of.
I honestly don't feel like it's neither near here nor relevant to my decision making, how I conduct myself now. That was then, this is now, this is present day. I mean, I don't know.
Man, I like him. He's a well-spoken brother. It was from, if it was me, I would have already like hung up on her. But the way he conducted himself, he didn't raise his voice. He was really calm in the situation. As after being that vulnerable, and you could find this was the first time he really spoke on this.
I don't know
All right.
what more you could really want from me in that particular situation.
That's
Whether I
it.
get a goofy woman or not, I think everybody is goofy until proven not goofy. So
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, man. Shout out to the Do Better podcast. Because Kendra deleted this video from her channel, I think he was able to get it, and I'll put down the link below to the Do Better podcast.